GoCurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
Atlo's fiber internet has definitely increased the productivity of our office. It's one of those things with internet and being a marketing company, we have to have it on and running all the time. And it's always up. We don't run into lags, we don't run into latency issues. It doesn't vary throughout the day, it doesn't vary on weekends or busy time periods. We have local service here. We need to go talk to somebody. They're just a quarter of a mile away for us to be able to chat with somebody. And that is a huge peace of mind for me as a business owner. So I would not hesitate at all to recommend Allo to anybody.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo. High-key internet for a low-key price. Want to see what games we're covering? Follow on X at NCN Sports.
Salas weaving in, weaving out, and skying for...
Hey sports fans, looking for a convenient pit stop before or after the game? Look no further than Good To Go convenience stores. We're here to keep you going. Fuel up your tank with a refreshing drink and grab one more snack for the road. Good To Go, your winning play for game day.
And hey, I can dunk it too.
Good To Go convenience stores. Fuel up for the game locations in Lincoln, York, Geneva, Bruning, and Hebron.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said...
It wasn't. But this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
Hi, this is Misty. Here at Family Physical Therapy, we strive to go beyond your symptoms, ensuring you have access to quality, individualized care. We offer physical, occupational, and speech therapy. Family Physical Therapy has an excellent staff that cares about our patients' success. Whether you're suffering from a sports injury, a stroke, or working to improve balance and coordination, Family Physical Therapy is here to help. When you're here, you're family. Visit us at one of our many Nebraska locations today.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Zollner Ford and Lincoln. Meeting your sales, service, and parts needs. 5 Points Bank. Trust the better bank for your financial needs. And by Family Physical Therapy, getting you back in the game.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Zollner Ford in Beatrice has options to make the process of buying or maintaining vehicles easy and enjoyable. If you have your sights on a new vehicle, a member of our sales team would love to show it to you in the warmth of our showroom or bring it right to your driveway. For maintenance, we offer a few options to make service appointments convenient, like free pickup and delivery within 25 miles of Beatrice, including all of Lincoln. We can also come to you with our mobile service unit to help quickly get going again. Zollner Ford in Beatrice. Sales and service with a smile.
My name is Jared. I've experienced a great deal of sin in my life. Alcohol, drugs, tobacco, sexual immorality, and much more. I was letting the devil control my life with the fantasy that these things would make me happy. All it did was make me feel empty inside. I was going nowhere and felt deceived. My heart was torn to a million pieces. At that point, I reached out to God. My life was changed. Yours can be too.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Start your next journey with Woodhouse. Our commitment extends beyond just selling cars. We offer an unparalleled car buying experience that allows you to shop and buy all online. Explore an array of new brands, makes, and models, as well as our large selection of pre-owned vehicles. And it's easy to get started today with our streamlined purchasing process online, granting you the freedom to secure your next vehicle anytime, anywhere. Discover a better way to buy with Woodhouse.
This is Amy from Magnolia's Home Decor and Design in downtown Norfolk.
And I'm Kate. Let's welcome in spring.
If you're ready for vibrant colors, silk florals that are remarkably real, and a new look for inspiring your space, come visit us at Magnolia's.
From spring to everyday designs for your home, we've been busy creating looks that will make your home warm and inviting for your friends and family.
Watch us live on Facebook 6 days a week. Stop in and see us in downtown Norfolk or visit us online at shopmagnoliasonline.com.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we, Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The yellow jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people, you know, we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska. The NSAA Girls State Basketball Championships on News Channel Nebraska are presented by Currency, Allo, Liberty First Credit Union, Woodhouse Auto, and by Midwest Bank.
Well, there's one thing we know for sure. There will be a new champion in Class C1 for the first time in 5 years. What we don't know is who that champion is going to be. But in this C1 semifinal, got a couple of teams that might have a pretty good claim to it. Hello, everyone. You're watching Class C1 semifinal action, quarterfinal action, rather, on News Channel Nebraska. The semis are tomorrow. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's Lou Siefker. I'm Eric McKay. Folks, it is crazy to think that an unbeaten team might have something to prove, but yet Bridgeport is here, 25-0, victories over a lot of quality opponents, including a team seeded better than them in this bracket, and yet they're the 4 seed, and they drew a very difficult matchup in the Minden Whippets, who are back after a long time away and very hungry to get the upset here in Lincoln.
We got to figure Bridgeport is hungry. They've been here, they've been close. And you're undefeated team, you're right. They've been kind of maybe as a 4 seed, they've beaten a team like Sydney. They beat them in the sub-districts. You got to figure they're hungry. Got a team like Minden, however, that's also playing really good basketball. Won 14 of the last 15. This is a tall team, an athletic team. I think a team that's going to create a lot of problems for Bridgeport here this morning.
There is the potential that this could be a very high-scoring game as well. 2 very talented offenses and a lot of talented players. We'll introduce you to 2 of them next. You're watching the pregame show on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
To sum up the past 20 years in one word, exceptional. It's one of our core values. But our people have been truly exceptional. Our customer support has been exceptional. In 20 years, where will Allo be? When we started, we were just a business fiber company. Then the demand came from residential. Now the products of both business and residential just continue to expand. We've got to start with customers' needs and always work backwards. The customers will tell us, and our teammates will take us there.
Welcome back to the Class C1 quarterfinals on News Channel Nebraska as we get set for the 4-5 matchup in the C1 bracket between Bridgeport and Minden. Success in Bridgeport of the last few years has been synonymous with one name, Loomis Girdle. Whether it was Ruthie to begin with, who's now playing in the Pac-12, or Olivia Loomis Girdle, who's still here and still doing big things, it's a hard task to stop Loomis Girdle from doing what she wants to do offensively, defensively, inside, outside. She can do it all.
Yeah, she's at 5'10", not quite as big as her sister, but she can handle the basketball. She can drive. She can shoot. 23 points a game. That's a lot. That's a lot of points. She's going to be playing at Northern Colorado next year, without question. Very important for Bridgeport. Want to get to her the basketball early and often in this one.
Minden, meanwhile, coming in, they're in state for the first time in 9 years. The last time they were here, there were Kissingers launching threes from 28 feet away. Now, it's a whole new breed of Minden Whippet that's here. But a lot of players that can do a lot of good things, including Maddie Camry, pretty good outside shooter in her own right.
Yeah, a heck of a player, yeah. 15 points and about 5.5 rebounds. She's best in transition. If she can get this team up and going, get that motor going for this Minden Whippet Ball Club, that's going to play dividends, I think, for Minden, and certainly give Bridgeport a lot of problems. She'll be key in that transition game.
Something that always pays dividends for us, tossing to Jake Bartecki. He's the third member of our broadcast crew with more on the Loomis Girdles.
Well, obviously in Nebraska, family is important to everybody, and there's a chance for the Bridgeport Bulldogs to keep a record of their own in the family. In the same family, Olivia Loomis Girdle, the first point she scores tonight, she will take over the all-time Bulldogs scoring lead from none other than her older sister, Ruthie. She set that back a few years ago, and now Olivia Loomis Girdle has the chance to keep that record right there in that Loomis Girdle family. She's averaging 23 points per game this season. She's the leading scorer for the Bulldogs. Again, part of a 25-0 year. And yesterday, guys, we saw history there as well. Jocelyn Miller for Nierborough Verdigris scored her 2,000th career point in the first round. Maybe we'll see some more history today.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
This is Emily with Family Physical Therapy at our Fountain Point location. Family Physical Therapy offers physical, occupational, and speech therapy. Our therapists are highly trained and certified in a variety of techniques, offering individualized care designed specifically to meet your needs. Our patients are welcome to a friendly environment, and our therapists are driven by their patients succeeding and meeting their goals. Family Physical Therapy proudly serving various locations throughout Central and Northeast Nebraska. Our goal is to get you back to work, back to play, back to life.
Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, Minden against Bridgeport in our 4-5 matchup. Let's take a look at our school spotlight. Brought to you by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items? Currency's here to help. Visit gocurrency.com for details. Minden making their 12th appearance at state, but first in 9 years. That's hard to believe. They've made 2 championship appearances, their last in 2014. When they lost to Pierce, they have won no state championships in school history. Meanwhile, Bridgeport, over 360 miles to get to Lincoln. This is their 11th trip to state, their 4th in a row. They made the title game in 2022 in Class C2. They have yet to win their first state championship. That again, your school spotlight brought to you by Currency. Well, you know, Lou, it's weird to think that neither of these teams have won a state title. You and I have seen a lot of really good Minden basketball played here in Lincoln over the years. They've had kind of a fallow period, and now they're back, a team with a lot of depth, a young team, not a single senior in their starting lineup. That's a decided advantage for Bridgeport, is just the experience of being here and the experience of games played that they'll have from the jump.
Well, I think that experience is really important in this first game. When you get in here in this arena, we talked about it yesterday, just the difference of playing in an arena setting as opposed to a gym, a high school gym. It's just different. Plus the nerves of playing in a state tournament game. I think that definitely has to go to Bridgeport. For Minden, though, if they can withstand that early on in the game, I think this team's athletic enough. I think they can get them down the floor and really make this a ball game. Even though they're young, I think just their style, I think, is going to be a difficult issue for Bridgeport this morning.
Starting lineups coming up next. You're watching the Class C1 quarterfinals on News Channel Nebraska.
The pregame show is sponsored by Custom Sports. Look great for every game with custom team or business apparel from Custom Sports.
Public school teachers in Nebraska make a difference in our communities. I see it every day. Teachers connecting on a personal level with students and parents make our communities stronger. Our kids do better, community pride grows, and Nebraska thrives. Maybe that's why our public schools rank in the top 10 nationally year after year. Nebraska Public Schools. They are truly the heart of our communities.
A community is described as just a smattering of houses, everybody living together, but what makes it a community are the people that live in the house. Deschler is a community of about 750 people, and those individuals living in those houses have a common goal of improving their surroundings. That's where Midwest Bank comes in. We look out for each other. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. My name is Julie, and I'm extremely proud to be part of the Deschler community.
Back in Lincoln, the Class C1 quarterfinals. We've already seen Lincoln Christian advance to the semifinals. They await the winner of this one. You see the Minden Whippets. Coach Taylor Malsby in his 6th year at the helm of this program. Weird quirk. So Minden, of course, purple. They've seen a lot of opposing purple of late. Yeah. In the sub-district final, they beat Holdridge. They beat Milford in the district final, and now they've got Bridgeport in the first round of the state championship tournament. That's a lot of opposing purple.
Yeah, it is. You don't see that a lot. You see a lot of blue and red around the state. Not a lot of purple, but yeah, the Holdridge Dusters, I know they're
the Dusters.
Like that purple color out there in Holdridge.
Yeah, they throw a little gold in there too, same as Bridgeport. Bridgeport, by the way, Dave Coolin, the head coach, 5th year. All he's done is win 120 games to just 14 losses. Not a bad half decade of work in terms of basketball. They beat Gordon Rushville in their district final 67-49. They forced 18 turnovers in that one. Out-rebounded GR 47-28 in that game. And Olivia Loomis-Girdle, 28 points, 9 rebounds, 4 steals. Ho-hum. Yeah. Just another day at the office for the brilliant 5'11" guard, who is, as Jake mentioned, her first bucket. She will become the all-time leading scorer at Bridgeport, beating her sister, Ruthie, who is currently playing for the Colorado Buffaloes in the Pac-12 Conference. What a career that the Loomis-Girdle sisters have had.
They were such a great combination. Yeah, one at 6'3", one at 5'11", but both really good athletes and really good basketball players. And that's the thing with Bridgeport, is you just feel like you were so close. You get down here and you're the 4th seed, even though you're undefeated. I think Bridgeport may be playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder in this tournament.
I think absolutely they are. You know, again, you're 25-0. All you did was win all your games. You end up as the 4 seed, taking on a really talented and tough Minden team. And this Bridgeport team, again, I think they feel like they've got something to prove. There is that whole mountain time zone thing. The teams out west don't play well out east. The farthest west team to ever win a state tournament and C1 is Kearney Catholic. So, you know, they do feel like they've got a little bit of something to prove here in Lincoln, despite the success they've had here over the last few years.
Yeah, runners up in 2022 and undefeated this year. They beat Sydney, another team from the Mountain Time Zone that's going to be playing this afternoon. Both teams from way out west, but both teams were undefeated when they played.
There you see the starting lineups for Minden. We talked about Maddie Camry, but this team's got a lot of great scoring. Maya Emery, the sophomore, just shy of 11 points, 5.5 rebounds per game. Kinsey Land, just shy of 11 points and 9 rebounds per game. She and Emery both pretty good three-point shooters as well. A lot of players that can do a lot for Coach Molesby and this Minden Whippet squad. Meanwhile, the Bridgeport starting five, you know, we talk so much about Olivia Loomis-Girdle, and rightfully so, but there are a lot of good players. 4 of these 5 average at least 10 points per game. Ella Schluterbusch, the 5'2 sophomore, just shy of 11 points per game. She's their point guard. You've got Tacey Fromm. She had 16 and 13 in the district final victory over Gordon Rushville. She averages 5 steals a game. And then Grace Dean, a 10 and 6 senior at 5'10". This is not a team that has the size that they've had in the past, but they're gritty, they rebound well, they defend well. And it isn't just a one-player show. This is a well-balanced team that likes to score the basketball. Again, both of these teams like to get up and down. They want to get points early and often. I think the potential is there, Lou, for this to be a high-scoring matchup.
This is going to be a fast-paced game, a lot of action, and I think a lot of points. Both, as you mentioned, both teams can score. The only thing I'm seeing, though, like in the warm-ups, with Minden's a tall team.
Yeah,
their shortest starter is 5'9". That's the short. That's their tiny player out there, 5'9". So they've got a lot of length. We'll see how that plays as this game goes. Plus, Minden, as we mentioned, they like to play that transition game, which is Bridgeport does as well. We'll see how that size, though, plays into this ball game.
Minden extremely long. Teams have trouble scoring against them. No one has eclipsed 50 against Minden since December, a game that Minden won against Beatrice, a Class B state tournament qualifier, 62-56. Since then, no one has gotten halfway to 100 on the Whippets. They control the opening tip, and you see right away, looking for their shot. Down low, that was Kinsey Land, knocked out of bounds, and we're underway.
Both teams are offensive-minded, but as you said, defense, there's a steal. Both teams only give up about 33 points a game for Minden, 37 for Bridgeport.
Through the wickets, there to clean it up is Grace Dean. She can't hit. Minden off and running off the rebound. This is Mila Emery. Giving it up to Maddie Camry, the key player. Off the mark, rebound to Bridgeport. And you can see right away, both these teams want to get out and run. Loomis-Girdle, little high-low, back high. Loomis-Girdle with the left-handed stroke. Can't find the shooter's roll early. If you want to see a textbook shooter's form, by the way, watch Olivia Loomis-Girdle. That is about as pretty a jump shot as you're going to find.
And she's got that nice wrist snap as she shoots that basketball.
That 3 missed everything. It goes to Bridgeport. You know, we talk about this, Lou, how cavernous this facility is. It takes a while for shooters to kind of get their bearings as to just where the rim is.
Yeah, that shooting backdrop, much different than a high school gym. And you come out here and warm up, but it's different when you've got, you know, somebody coming out to guard you. But it's just a different environment. It certainly, when you're trying to shoot the ball in this big arena, it just takes some time to adjust.
Up ahead comes Bridgeport. Loomis-Girdle in the lane, wide open, triple try, strong. And Minden clears. Olivia Brown can't hit, and back come the Whippets. Trapped in the lane, tied up. Possession arrow will give it back to the Bulldogs. And Minden going to call a timeout early on, try to make some adjustments. We'll take a timeout as well. No score. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.
Hey there, sports fans. Looking for a winning play to make your game day complete? Look no further than Speedy Mart, your family-owned neighborhood convenience store. Score big with the wide range of snacks, drinks, and fuel for the road that will keep the whole crew cheering. And here's the kicker. Our friendly atmosphere and convenient location make every visit a slam dunk. So rally the family and head to Speedy Mart for the ultimate game day experience.
No score, first quarter. Lou Seifker, Eric McKay, Jake Bartecki here with you. Bridgeport after the quick Minden timeout. Loomis Girdle takes on two defenders. That's pretty good defense, good heady play attempt, but it'll be Minden basketball.
I think you see a little bit of the size there with Minden and the length, just trying to shoot over a couple tall defenders. Loomis Girdle got that. Minden set up a wall there, made it very difficult for Loomis Girdle to score.
Good entry pass, the turnaround partially blocked. Down low, knocked out of bounds, stays with Minden. That was McKenna Betty. Her first attempt, the 6-foot junior. Coach Mulsby telling me Betty played a great district final. Here's a steal for Bridgeport. There's the block. There's that length. Maddie Camry wants to go coast to coast, fades away and fills it up.
That's what we talked about with Maddie Camry. Good defense, but leads into transition. She's really, really good in the transition game.
Brown. Reversed right side, high, arcing three, finds the bottom for Schluterbusch.
Yeah, great open look. Schluterbusch knocks it down from the wing out there. And just got to get some shots to fall. Both these teams just, you settle down a little bit, fight through the nerves, and then turn this into a basketball game.
Foul called out high, that's on Olivia Brown, her first. Schluterbusch, a 28% three-point shooter. And feisty. She's fun to watch defend people at 5'2". She is not afraid of anyone.
I like those smaller players that play with such big hearts.
Nice quick turnaround, iron unkind. Rebound to Brown. Now Schluterbusch. From expert ball movement. That three missed everything, though, and it'll be Minden ball. First quarter of the first game, you just see shots like that every year.
Yeah. Yeah, this truly is the hardest game to play. Just getting used to everything and fighting through that first game of the state tournament nerves.
Left block, quick double, turned over. Schluterbusch the trailer, Loomis Girdle, the extra pass, the three, in and out. Battle for the rebound, out of bounds, it'll stay with Bridgeport. Here in our first quarter, brought to you by John Henry's, their family serving yours. Inbound comes to Schluterbusch. Well, they close on Loomis Girdle in a hurry. Turned away. Steal there by Rosalind Nelson in off the bench. Tough lob. Boy, how did that get through? Camry, the soft hands off a brilliant pass by Kinsey Land.
Yeah, Camry was wide open. I think you'd have a turnover, a violation. I believe she stepped in and stepped back out. Turns the ball right back over to Minden, but Camry was open a moment ago. It was begging for the ball, finally got it to her. Maybe a little bit late, still able to score the bucket.
4-3, Minden with the lead. Timeout, more after this. You're watching NCN.
Life is a wild ride.
It's important to have a trusted partner along the way. Liberty First Credit Union exists to provide its members with affordable financial services. Whether it is a large purchase, a new car or home remodel, overcoming obstacles, or chasing your dreams. Financing life is what we do best. Give us a call or visit libertyfirstcu.com.
Bridgeport and Minden, a combined 3 of 14 from the field to start the game. I think jitters is part of it. I think on Bridgeport's side, Lou, you know, it's one thing to be tall, but the length and the athleticism that Minden has, the contests on those shots, the angles are a little bit different. That's going to be an adjustment the Bulldogs need to make.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. It's not just height and length, it's athleticism that really creates problems when you play Minden.
Well, a great find off the inbound, the 3 short. And the rebound to Bridgeport. Too quickly up ahead, though. It turns right back over to the Whippets.
You just feel like if somebody can get into some rhythm here, you know, they're both trying to push tempo. They're both trying to play fast and beat the other team down the floor, but neither team very crisp right now to start the ballgame.
Well, half-court pressure defensively. Meeting him at the timeline, Minden trying to get behind it. Forcing the inbound. Wide open up top. That 3 missed everything. Neither team with the shots that they normally see from beyond the arc. Right side, Nelson looking inside. Tough shot, battle for the rebound. Minden's out with it. Now streaking to the rack, and one. Kinsey Land.
Kinsey Land there gets that bucket, but it's the offensive rebounding. It was Camry that got the offensive rebound. So many good things happen when you pound that offensive glass and you're able to get those extra opportunities. It ends up in a 3-point opportunity here for the Whippets.
Bridgeport burns another timeout. We'll take one as well. Minden up 3, trying to make it 4. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Kinsey Land trying to finish the 3-point play, can't do it. Loomis Girdle had the rebound, lost it out of bounds. It'll stay with Bridgeport, much to the chagrin of the Minden faithful. Alongside Lou Siefker, I'm Eric McKay. Now, whoever wins this game, whoever loses it, is probably going to look back on a number of missed opportunities in the first quarter. Both of these teams have been a little bit sloppy at the start. Oh, almost over the back. Minden applying some pressure Bridgeport wasn't ready for. College range triple, that's short. Camry the rebound, fouled on the floor. Minden with a little extra hustle in the early going.
Well, about Maddie Camry, we talked about her ability. We didn't really talk a lot about her rebounding. That's 2 offensive rebounds here in the first quarter that just has kept possessions alive. Camry drives and misses.
That shot a little wild. Our replay is brought to you by 5 Points Bank, Nebraska's better bank. Entry pass, Grace Dean finds Loomis. Girdle! She'll head to the line.
That was a good pass. Loomis Girdle just cut there through the lane, and they found her Gets fouled now. This is what you want there. That's an excellent pass there by Dean. Just a scoop pass to the cutter, Loomis Girdle.
Makes the free throw and is now officially Bridgeport's all-time leading scorer. Congratulations to her.
She'll have bragging rights at Christmas time.
Yeah, it's going to make for an awkward Thanksgiving. Second one in and out. Rebound to Camry. I bet Ruthie comes home and immediately challenges her to a game of one-on-one. 2-point game, Minden pressured, in trouble, taken away. Schluterbusch slows it up. Tough pass, trying to find Loomis Girdle. Bridgeport ball.
Yeah, both teams really struggling with turnovers. Bridgeport with 5 and Minden with 4. I think that goes back to your point a little bit about if whoever does not win this game, you look back to this quarter and both teams want to get off to a good start. Neither one has. We'll see who can survive this moving forward.
Kaylin Jorgensen in the game for Minden. Minden has a very prolific bench. Jorgensen about 3 points a game. You've got Rosie Nelson at 3, Maddie Emery 2.5. They score points off the pine. That kind of depth can help you here in Lincoln.
For sure.
Mishandled, taken away. Minden fans wanted a foul they didn't get. Now Fromm taking on 2 defenders. Dean the rebound, she's hacked and will head to the line.
Well, I've seen it a lot this tournament so far. Players just run the floor. You don't assume that shot's going to be made. Dean follows up, gets the offensive rebound, now is at the free throw line.
Grace Dean, who I feel like, over the course of this Bridgeport run has been kind of the unsung, you call them garbage pail players. Now, it's been there for a bit more statistically.
Lunch pail.
Lunch pail, not garbage pail. That was...
I had to stop you before people write me letters or something.
I was thinking of, there was a player in the NBA, they used to call him the garbage man because he did the dirty work.
Yeah.
Lunch pail player. Can you tell we've been broadcasting a lot of games, folks? We're tied at 6. Turnover for Bridgeport.
No, they called me the garbage pail player. That's what you're thinking.
They're going to start calling me the garbage pail broadcaster if this keeps up. Schluterbusch up top. Down low. Dean says, call me whatever you want. I'm going to hit this shot.
She brought some sort of pail. I don't know what it was, but she's playing hard here. Doing a great job for Bridgeport is Gracie Dean.
Gives Bridgeport the lead back. Quickly the other way down low. Both teams starting to see the bucket open up a little bit. That's McKenna Starkey, the 5'11 junior.
Well, of course, Starkey catches the basketball right on the outside of that lane and does a good job to turn and drive to the bucket. Draws the foul.
She might be an X factor in this one. 6 points, about 5 rebounds a game. Coach Malsby telling me this week she's their most athletic player, has been starting to get a bit more comfortable, becoming more patient offensively. Comes up with a great steal there, does Minden. In transition, heading to the line now is Mila Emery.
That was an excellent steal by Mila Emery. More of that height, 5'10". Just talked about Starkey a moment ago, 5'11". And those players are playing out, away from the basket. Wasn't that long ago that a 5'11 player, that's your post. You don't see a lot of 5'11 wings, but now you do.
Splits the pair. The shooter got the rebound. In and out. Long rebound now to Minden. Starkey pulls it in. Back inside go the Whippets. They had an opening on the outside that they missed. Rebound pulled down by Fromm.
Fromm has 5 defensive rebounds in this quarter.
I feel like Bridgeport just needs to settle down a little bit.
You want to push the tempo, you want to run the floor, but right now they're a little out of control. I agree with you. I think they need to just slow it down a little bit, get under control, and then pick up the pace.
This will help. Schluterbusch the steal. 3-on-2 for the Bulldogs. Mid-range pull-up might have been blocked. Bridgeport will try it again, this time baseline. Off the mark, Emery the rebound. Bridgeport cannot buy a bucket right now. Swiped from behind, it'll stay with Minden. There you see Coach Coolin. Up top, Land. Picked up by Brown defensively. Looking inside, pretty good seal. Oh, mishandled it on the way up. Right place, right time was Betty, but Bridgeport clears it. Oh, out of bounds. Loomis Girdle couldn't keep control of it, and Minden will have it with 4 seconds.
They keep possession. 4 seconds is enough time, especially when you're running an inbound play underneath the basket. Plenty of time to get a shot up.
Camry the inbound. Oh, boy. A lot of unforced errors, both sides this quarter.
Yeah, neither team seems to be on the same page. Could be a costly error. You had a real chance to maybe score at the end of the quarter. Instead, turn it over. Bridgeport with 8 turnovers, 7 for Minden. So 15 between the two teams. Not what you're used to.
Bridgeport will try to get. They are not letting Loomis Girdle get anything easy. They have been shadowing her.
That's what you got to do with her, is make her work.
No shot up before the end of the quarter. Well, neither team probably going to keep the tape of that quarter, but we got a lot of basketball yet to play. It's Minden by 2. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Well, 8 minutes down, 24 to go, and it is a 10-8 Minden Whippet lead over the Bridgeport Bulldogs. And the key phrase there, guys, both of these team mascots are dogs, the Whippets and the Bulldogs. And an article from a newspaper a while back talking about the Minden Whippets said they're really not quite sure why the Whippets are called what they are for Minden. But if you look at the IKC, the International Kennel Club, they describe the Whippets' #1 trait as lightning quick, sort of like what we're seeing on the basketball floor in a 20-3 team that's up by 2 here at the start of the second quarter. They like to get out and run. They like to be quick in transition. And the Bulldogs, it speaks for itself. It's a bruiser. Sort of sounds like Bridgeport, who's very physical, a team that can grab a lot of rebounds. I myself, guys, am more of a yellow lab or golden retriever type dog, but that's just me, guys.
Thank you very much, Jake.
I don't know. I saw Bartecki as more of a Chihuahua guy, but that's just me.
he's got terrier energy.
There you go.
Thank you, Jake. I learned this week that the Bulldog, second most common mascot in Nebraska. 13 teams use the Bulldog. Minden is the only school in the country, as they turn it over, to use the Whippet as a mascot. The Whippets trying to increase the pace a little bit. Loomis Girdle, good high low to Dean. Minden collapses on it well.
Well, I think that size really affecting Bridgeport in the half court. Just really struggling to get anything inside.
Loomis Girdle moves so well away from the ball. Set that up. Great find from Dean.
That's another good pass by Dean. Yeah, boy, if you get Loomis Girdle the ball down in that area, she knows what to do with it. And that's exactly what you want to do if you're Bridgeport. Find those really good looks for a player like Loomis Girdle.
That was her first field goal. She has 3. Another awkward shot for Minden. The outlet up ahead. Schluterbusch can't hit from close. Now Emery, up ahead Camry. That's the kind of possession that Minden wants. And it will end with McKenna Betty heading to the line.
Just attack that defense. Really force those low post confrontations, get to the free throw line.
Betty gives Minden the lead back 11-10 on our scoreboard, brought to you by Aurora Cooperative, helping you add value to every aspect of your operation. Check them out at auroracoop.com. There you saw a look at Coach Malsby. 6th year at Minden. Dean the rebound off the miss. Whippets back on top on the unbeaten Bridgeport Bulldogs. Look out. Into media row there. McKenna Betty showing the hustle.
Well, that's a tough pass against that defense. 3 tall defenders trying to go inside to Dean. Not much good's going to come out of a pass like that. You've got to work it around and try to get defense out of position. You can't force it over the size of Minden.
I will say, Lou, I think that's the kind of pass Bridgeport is used to getting as Schluterbusch gets the high percentage triple. But again, you just have to figure out how to navigate Minden's length.
Yeah, you got to get it out of position. If you don't, then it's really difficult to get the ball inside. And another turnover. Minden's struggling, much like Bridgeport, with the TOs.
Inside out, back in. Dean can't handle, fouled. Called on the floor. That's on Starkey, her second. Off the inbound, Schluterbusch missed everything from 3. Loomis Girdle keeps it alive, though. Dean can't hit, and Starkey clears it. Good strong drive from the left side, in and out. Offensive rebound, that's not there. Out of bounds, it will stay with Minden. Boy, neither team can buy a bucket in close right now.
Boy, Starkey had a point-blank shot there after that offensive rebound, and somehow that ball did not go through the net.
Megan Klein checking in the game, 5'8" senior, 2 points, 2.5 rebounds a game for Bridgeport. Minden trying to get something established down low, but can't get the entry. Now they do. Quick collapse. Another point-blank miss.
Yeah, really good
Starkey. Loomis Girdle. Brown wants 3. Gets 3. Nothing but the bottom. Olivia Brown's first points.
Those opportunities should be there for Bridgeport. You're running Loomis Girdle off that high post about the free throw line, and Minden's collapsing on that. That should give some shooters opportunities.
Now Betty will head back to the line. Foul called on Schluterbusch. That's her first.
That is her first. It's the second team foul. At the line for 2, McKenna Betty.
And McKenna Betty at the line. 65% free throw shooter, now 64.999. And she can't get the bounce on the first. Well, these teams have got to feel cursed. Some of the in and outs and the close buckets that haven't gone in.
Especially Minden right now, getting some high percentage opportunities, just not making hay with them.
Dean gets the rebound. Schluterbusch will wait for the offense.
And Bridgeport's been able to knock down a couple of threes, which has allowed them to take this lead.
Now Fromm wants to add to that, can't do it. A good effort on the rebound, but Minden snags it. Kinsey Land.
A good strong rebound there by Land.
Tacey Fromm 0 for 4 from the field. That's someone whose offensive production Bridgeport would like to get going. Foul called on the floor by Loomis Girdle.
That's her second personal foul and the third team foul.
16-11. Lower scoring, Lou, than I think we expected this game to be. Not for lack of effort, just shots aren't going in. Another turnover. Schluterbusch waits for things to develop. Fromm. Loomis Girdle in deep. That's a money bucket every time. Loomis Girdle with 5. Timeout called. We'll take one as well. Bridgeport has their largest lead. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo. High-key internet for a low-key price. Want to see what games we're covering? Follow on X at NCN Sports.
Champions are crowned each year in Lincoln. All of us at Visit Lincoln welcome the athletes, families, and fans from across Nebraska to our community. When the final whistle blows and the game ends, make sure to discover how Lincoln can make your stay even more memorable. Stop by the Visitor Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit us on the web at lincoln.org. Visit Lincoln is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
Oh, and you're struggling to score the basketball. You just try to find the players that can put the ball in the basket. Olivia Loomis Girdle averages about 23 points a ball game. She's been quiet, but you get her the basketball on that low block there. So that's an almost automatic bucket. A great job by Bridgeport to find their star and get her an opportunity to put the ball in the basket.
And that's probably the one thing that Bridgeport has that Minden does not, is a just go-to, we need something, just give it to number 0 and let her go to work. Not a lot of teams have a player like Olivia Loomis Girdle. I want to make that very clear. She draws 2. Oh my goodness, the strength of this senior. Perfect from the field this quarter.
That is such a tough shot against two tall defenders collapsing on her. Still gets that shot up and in.
Bridgeport not even letting Minden get their offense set up now. Great pass from swatted from behind, but the foul called.
Well, you mentioned, Eric, about the score. We didn't think it'd be this low scoring, but both teams play really good defense. That's a good block there by Minden that leads to the foul, but I think right now the biggest thing is Bridgeport's been able to turn Minden over a lot here in this first half. That was turnover number 12.
Wow.
Bridgeport has 9 of their own. Neither team really couldn't carry the basketball, but the turnovers have really propelled Bridgeport forward and now have a 9-point lead.
Hey, folks, stick around at halftime. We'll show you the halftime highlights. It was brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Sartor Heyman will help make your jewelry dreams come true. Good pass, great position. Minden needed that one. Ends a 9-0 run by the Bulldogs.
That's a point-blank look that went for Embry.
Back the other way, though. Minden didn't get back. Tacey Fromm made him pay.
It's a really good dribble penetration, and Schluterbusch with a great pass.
Foul called on the floor. That's the 4th team foul on Bridgeport, 2nd on Schluterbusch. Outside, back in, trying to get it back out. Oh my, big collision there. Brown slow to get up, and the baseline jumper falls for Kinsey Land.
Yeah, it's good to see Olivia Brown get up. She might have got knocked on the head there.
Reach-in foul called against Minden. That's on Nelson, her 2nd. Bridgeport going to the bench. Elizabeth Vasquez checking into the my apologies, checking into the game for the first time.
Also checking in for Minden, number 25, McKenna Starkey.
Starkey returns for Minden in favor of McKenna Betty. Schluterbusch, Dean. Minden the board. Whippets off and running. Camry on the secondary break gets all the way to the rack. But Velasquez out with the rebound. Loomis Girdle finds the open shooter. Too strong. Rebound to Minden. Trying to get out and run. Bridgeport knocks it out. Minden will inbound. Both of these teams have struggled from the field, although Bridgeport has gotten a better shot quality in the second quarter.
Yeah, Minden's had a lot of good looks. They've had a lot of them that have not fallen. But I like what Bridgeport's doing now. They're really running that offense through Loomis Girdle at that high post. She's been able to pass out of that and also cut out of that. That's improved the offense and what they've been able to do.
Another Minden turnover. Now it's Loomis Girdle in transition. Her first miss of the quarter. She's fouled on the rebound. It's on Kaylin Jorgensen.
Olivia Loomis Girdle going to Northern Colorado to play college basketball. I assume they probably play the Buffaloes at some point.
Yeah, they have from time to time played in non-con.
It'd be a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
Sister against sister.
Northern Colorado in the Summit League. She'll get to play against UNO. Tipped, down low, kicked. Bridgeport will inbound. Bulldogs have found a greater comfort level in their offense, Lou, and like you mentioned, it's starting with what they're doing with Loomis Girdle there at the elbow.
Yep, right there, high posting her, and she's a really good passer out of that high post, but she's also been able to cut. They continue to look for her and find her. They'll be able to get some really good looks. That's a good look to go down.
Yeah, Minden doesn't want to let her get too many of those off. She's not going to miss many of those open J's. Another steal by Schluterbusch. Backs out, can't hit. Battle for the board, won by Fromm. Brown from the corner, no. Loomis Girdle clears it. And a foul on the floor, or on the shot. That foul on Mila Emery. And now Bridgeport at the line. Minden just having trouble getting across the timeline with the ball at this point.
14 turnovers in this first half. That is not Minden basketball.
Schluterbusch rattles the first one home. She has 7. And has probably 4 or 5 steals already as well.
We referenced the aforementioned lunch pail player, not garbage pail player.
Right.
But Tracy Fromm, what a job she has done on the boards. 8 rebounds in the first half.
Schluterbusch extends the lead back up to 9, equaling Bridgeport's largest. Minden needs a mini run here at the end of the half.
Yeah, you just got to have something positive here. Give yourself a little momentum going into the locker room.
Shot off, offensive rebound. They work it down low. And Starkey able to finally get a shot to drop for the Whippets.
Let's see if Bridgeport going to play for one. Nope, they're going to throw it away.
Mistake there, 2-on-1. Camry will take it coast to coast from the left side. Just like that, it's a 2-possession game.
That's a big error because we mentioned Minden trying to get a little momentum.
Oh,
another
boy.
turnover. Wow.
15 seconds of bad basketball for Bridgeport, and Minden can make this a 1-possession game heading into the half.
Bulldogs unraveling here at the end of the half.
Inside of 10 seconds, Minden's got to get moving. They'll hit the 3 at the end of the half, can't hit. And that's the end of the first half, and Minden found a little bit of offense at the end of the second quarter. Will that be enough to catapult them? Or is Bridgeport on their way to the semifinals once again? It's the Bulldogs by 5. Halftime show coming up. You're watching NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Zollner Ford and Lincoln. Meeting your sales, service, and parts needs. 5 Points Bank. Trust the better bank for your financial needs. And by Family Physical Therapy, getting you back in the game.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back.
Pretty sure. We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding band, so we'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
I've had the opportunity to work with so many outstanding students and parents in my 37 years as a public school teacher. The two things I've noticed they all have in common: a love for their community and a pride in their school. I've seen that pride in my science students who become scientists, in parents who show up for every game and every parent-teacher conference, in former students who become community leaders. Nebraska public schools are indeed the heart of our communities.
John Henry's is now offering electrical service. Our service professionals have been helping with plumbing, heating, and cooling in Lincoln and the surrounding areas for more than 25 years. Now, we're proud to offer the same level of professionalism in our new electrical service. From a whole home rewire to adding new outlets or electric car chargers, John Henry's can be your one-stop shop for all your home's needs. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical. Our family serving yours since 1996.
The way we use electricity has changed a lot over the years. What hasn't changed is our commitment to make sure it's there the moment you need it. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
(24-19). Bridgeport with the lead over Minden alongside Lou Siefker. I'm Eric McKay. And Lou, both teams in the first half, 8 of 28 from the field. That's going to have to improve for whoever's going to win this game, but the difference so far may be turnovers as we take a look at our halftime highlights. Brought to you by Starter Heyman Jewelers. Stunning engagement collections, exceptional diamonds, and dazzling gemstones can be found at their Lincoln and Grand Island locations. We look at the halftime highlights, Lou, such as that they were. The shots have been up. They've been putting them up, but they've been tough. We've seen some tough misses on both sides. Minden has yet to do what Bridgeport does here and make a three. Outside shooting and turnovers have been a little bit of the difference right now between Bridgeport getting that little bit of a lead.
Yeah, Bridgeport able to make some three-pointers, which extended the lead. It was just unfortunate if you're a Bulldogs fan, the way that half ended with like 2 or 3 turnovers that allowed Minden to kind of climb back in this, only down 5 now. But Minden, they have their own problems with turnovers with 14 in that first half. Just neither team playing crisply at all here to start this ball game. I expect to see better, especially ball control here in the second half from both teams.
Ella Schluterbusch leads the way for Bridgeport with 8. Olivia Loomis-Girdle with 7. Grace Dean, 4 points, 3 boards. Tacey Fromm, 2 points, but 8 rebounds. And Schluterbusch hit a 3 that started a 9-0 run for Bridgeport, but some mistakes late in the second quarter. Some turnovers, unforced errors helped Minden get back in it. They had been down 9, down 5 now at the break. Maddie Camry with 6 and 5. 5 points, 4 rebounds for McKenna Starkey, 4 and 4 for Kinsey Land. But I think if you're Minden, the message is kind of stay the course offensively, right? Because they've been getting some decent looks. They just need their shot to get better.
Well, I think for Minden, you're right. They need to continue to look for those quality shots and then start making them, but also control the basketball. You're not going to win a game at State if you do what you did in the first half, which was 14 turnovers. You end with 28 some turnovers. You're not going to win the basketball game. You've got to control that, and certainly both of these teams feast off of the other team's turnovers, generally speaking. I think whoever takes care of the basketball in the second half is going to win this thing. And I think if it gets close, the difference maker could certainly be Olivia Loomis-Girdle, the real, all-star player that can score the basketball at will at times. But, really with both teams struggling offensively, both teams play good defense, so you figured there would be some struggles. But both teams' struggles, I think, is largely coming off just not being able to get into their offense because they're turning the basketball over.
24-19, Bridgeport with the lead. If it does stay close, keep an eye on free throws. Minden just 3 of 8 from the land of the free in the first half. More halftime show coming up. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.
One of my passions is always to help entrepreneurs, whether they're starting off right away or they've been in business for a long time. And for me, I believe that our community is the strongest when everyone chips in with their own expertise and passion, that's going to lift the tide and raise all boats. That's intentional. Intentional culture means a lot. I have the personal satisfaction of being there along the way.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
(24-19), Bridgeport with the lead. Whether they have the lead at the end of the game or not, they will have the lead in miles traveled as we take a look at the C1 map. Bridgeport coming all the way out in mountain time. It's 10:33 for the Bridgeport locals as they had to go 364 miles to get here. Not exactly a quick jaunt for Minden either, 135 miles away.
The leader in the clubhouse, though, for distance is Scotts Bluff in Class B, 400 miles. But certainly contenders to that throne are Bridgeport and then Sydney, who we'll see in the next ball game.
A much shorter distance from where we're sitting to where Jake Bartecki is standing. Bartecki with more on today's contest.
Well, it's already been a great year for Minden girls sports, and the volleyball team won their first state title since 1980, 43 years. They go 36-1, and their only regular season loss, they were able to avenge that in the state tournament, knocking off Kearney Catholic in a 5-set thriller in the finals. And on top of that, they also were runners-up in girls golf during the fall, and anybody who knows golf in Nebraska knows some of those courses out in central Nebraska are not the easiest of courses. I'm sure the volleyball team's looking to do the same thing and try and get a state title. Down by 5 here at the break, though.
Atlas Fiber Internet has definitely increased the productivity of our office. It's one of those things with internet and being a marketing company, we have to have it on and running all the time. And it's always up. We don't run into lags, we don't run into latency issues. It doesn't vary throughout the day, it doesn't vary on weekends or busy time periods. We have local service here. We need to go talk to somebody. They're just a quarter of a mile away for us to be able to chat with somebody. And that is a huge peace of mind for me as a business owner. So I would not hesitate at all to recommend Allo to anybody.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding bands. We'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
I've had the opportunity to work with so many outstanding students and parents in my 37 years as a public school teacher. The two things I've noticed they all have in common: a love for their community, and a pride in their school. I've seen that pride in my science students who become scientists, in parents who show up for every game and every parent-teacher conference, in former students who become community leaders. Nebraska public schools are indeed the heart of our communities.
John Henry's is now offering electrical service. Our service professionals have been helping with plumbing, heating, and cooling in Lincoln and the surrounding areas for more than 25 years. Now, we're proud to offer the same level of professionalism in our new electrical service. From a whole home rewire to adding new outlets or electric car chargers, John Henry's can be your one-stop shop for all your home's needs. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical. Our family serving yours since 1996.
The way we use electricity has changed a lot over the years. What hasn't changed is our commitment to make sure it's there the moment you need it. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
One of my passions is always to help entrepreneurs, whether they're starting off right away or they've been in business for a long time. And for me, I believe that our community is the strongest when everyone chips in with their own expertise and passion, that's going to lift the tide and raise all boats. That's intentional. Intentional culture means a lot. I have the personal satisfaction of being there along the way.
(24-19) Bridgeport with the lead over Minden as we get set to start the second half. I want to say a quick thank you, by the way, to Randy Schultz, contacted us online, and
I'm pretty sure that Olivia Loomis-Girdle could probably play baseball at Northern Colorado. That type of an athlete.
Absolutely. And a travel turns it right back over. Boy, turnovers are the story of this game.
Yeah, no question about it. Who takes care of the basketball better this second half is going to win this game.
24-19, Bridgeport with the lead. What a pass. Oh. In and out. Boy, both teams just so many hard luck misses here today. As a basketball fan, it's just frustrating to watch.
Yeah, excellent pass, and it ends up in no points.
Turned over again, Loomis-Girdle the steal. What a pass up ahead to Schluterbusch. Three-quarter court outlet. Schluterbusch in double figures.
Great pass, and Schluterbusch running the floor, gets behind the defense.
Minden trying to answer, down 7. Off the screen, the lob, out of bounds to Bridgeport. 3 possessions, 3 turnovers for the Whippets so far.
Well, it's got to be frustrating right now for Minden. But the good news is you're still only down 7. Plenty of time. You just got to right the ship.
Loomis-Girdle steps back, wants 3. Rebound to Minden. (26-19), Bridgeport leading, 6.5 to go, third quarter. Almost a turnover on the telegraphed pass. Minden out with it. Here's Camry. She loses it. Out of bounds again. Wow. To Bridgeport. And, you know, we've talked about it, Lou. No seniors in this starting 5. You know, that youth, that experience, it goes a long way.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's a great point. Very young basketball team and have not been at state.
Wow, what a move. What a move by Loomis-Girdle.
Speaking of experience, just gathering herself and making that move and scoring. Big time play. extends the lead to 9 for the Bulldogs.
Camry taking on 2 defenders. Tapped out, Minden will keep.
We really feel like Minden needs something good to happen here. You got to get a bucket to go.
Yeah.
You got to have something just out of sorts, and not the way you wanted to start the third quarter.
Camry looking inside. Emery out to Rosalind Nelson, who's checked back into the game. Entry pass was tipped. Foul called. That'll be on Dean.
Bridgeport foul number 42, Grace Dean.
That's her second. Oh, correction, her third. My apologies. That's a big one. She's got to sit. Taken away again. Schluterbusch in transition. Pulls up, can't fill it up. Rebound, tough fadeaway. Falling down. Out of bounds to Minden.
Well, right now you've got Bridgeport getting out and running. Both teams came into this ball game wanting to run with the basketball. An opportunity there missed for the Bulldogs to make this a double-digit lead.
In traffic, rolls home. McKenna Starkey, 360s one down. She has 7 to lead the way for Minden.
Now Minden going to pressure off the made bucket. That's what they needed, some to go down and see if they can turn them over. They do not.
Loomis girdle! In double figures.
Here comes my expert analysis. She's really good.
Really good at basketball. Forces the turnover up top. Minden will bring it back up. Both sides wanted fouls there.
Loomis Girdle gets up slowly, shaking her left arm.
Look at the ball pressure at the volleyball line. Camry fouled. Lou, I think Bridgeport can sense that the pressure that they're applying is really forcing things to get difficult on Minden, and they've ratcheted it up here in the third quarter.
With that pressure, what you want to do with that pressure is really get in your opponent's head, and it's definitely worked. Right now, Minden's overthinking things. That's just a tough pass. Minden's forcing plays, and you've really gotten their head with that pressure defense.
Already approaching 20 turnovers here in the third quarter.
Actually, we got there 20. That was the 20th.
Good inside-out game. Brown too strong. Long rebound, tracked down by Minden, but thrown away. What a play by Tacey Fromm. Minden's got to talk it over. We'll take a timeout as well. Halfway home, third quarter. Bridgeport rolling. It's all about effort at State, and Tacey Fromm.
What a pass.
Gets it done. Bulldogs by 11. This is NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
Bridgeport with their largest lead. They've won 25 straight. And the 4 seed starting to show that experience here at State here in the third quarter alongside Lou Siefker. I'm Eric McKay. Minden, this was a good timeout by Coach Malsby because the wheels were starting to wobble on the cart.
Yeah, this is a critical time. These next 4 minutes, can Minden chip away and make this a ball game, or will Bridgeport pull away? These next 4 minutes will be very big in deciding that.
Short corner, extra pass, foul called.
That's a much better set there by Minden. Just got a good pass into the post. Get a high percentage look. A lot of their passes that we've seen Minden do, just trying to force it through that defense. And that was a much better job. Good timeout. Talk about what you want to run on the offense and execute it. They do that.
Starkey gets the free throw. That foul was on Tacey Fromm. That's her third. Grace Dean checks back into the game. She's got 3 fouls as well. Starkey strong on the second. Minden out with it. It's Camry who gets it to go in traffic.
Great job by Starkey to get the offensive rebounds and pass it to Starkey.
Now Minden trying to get the steal. Schluterbusch out with it. Loomis Girdle, one-on-one. Leans in and travels. Minden got back defensively. That was McKenna Betty forcing the turnover.
Well, it's frightening when you're one-on-one with Loomis Girdle, but did a great job, did Betty, just to maintain possession and force that turnover.
Camry up top, little high-low action. Bridgeport was ready for it, though. And now drawing damage is Land. A couple of settling offensive possessions, I think, for Minden.
Yeah, exactly. I think that last time out really helps because I think it just settled this team down, and you've seen 2 good half-court sets.
Free throws starting to fall as well. 2 for 3 from the land of the free this quarter after a 3 for 8 performance in the first half. Now Bridgeport wants to talk things over. We'll take a timeout as well. Lead down to 7. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.
Atlas Fiber Internet has definitely increased the productivity of our office. It's one of those things with internet and being a marketing company, we have to have it on and running all the time. And it's always up. We don't run into lags, we don't run into latency issues. It doesn't vary throughout the day, it doesn't vary on weekends or busy time periods. They have local service here. We need to go talk to somebody. They're just a quarter of a mile away for us to be able to chat with somebody. And that is a huge peace of mind for me as a business owner. So I would not hesitate at all to recommend Allo to anybody.
Bridgeport's fans made the long trip. They wear a different kind of headgear out west. You see a lot of cowboy hats out there. Now Minden applying pressure on that made bucket. Lobbed up ahead. Loomis Girdle, it's a 3-on-2. Great pass, good defense by Minden. Whippets out with it.
They did a great job, did Bridgeport, to break that pressure. Did not finish on the other end.
Left corner, Minden, that's a long 2, tough shot. Minden has not made a 3-pointer yet today. Transition bucket falls, Ella Schluterbusch with 12.
Now that time they pushed the tempo. Transition game was good for Bridgeport. Schluterbusch finishes on that one.
Camry got past the defense, set up Betty for the bucket from the right side.
Much better passing right now by Minden.
Both offenses starting to settle in a bit. Here's Brown. Too strong. Rebound tracked down by Minden. 2-possession game. Minden's trailed by as much as 11. There's a great pass again. Loomis Girdle called for the foul.
That was a great job by Camry. That was an excellent pass to Betty. Watch the pass, splits the defenders. Betty had good position. And Camry found her.
That's Olivia Loomis Girdle's 3rd foul.
That was the style of this game. The fouls are starting to pile up.
Yeah.
Still have 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Minden is in the bonus. They have not been called for a foul this half. Betty splits the pair, 3 this quarter, 4 for the game. Minden back within 5. On an 8-2 run. Try the high-low. That's tough against Minden's length. Bridgeport will try it again.
I've seen that at times from both teams, trying to just force the ball into the paint.
Loomis Girdle. Tipped out. That was Madeline Emery with the quick hands. 5'6" senior. Schluterbusch. Dean now from. Back inside Loomis Girdle. Draws a crowd. Bounces it home. 8 this quarter, 15 for the contest.
Well, somehow Loomis Girdle's going to find a way to score.
Long three. Rebound, tracked down by the Whippets. Extra pass down low. If that's Loomis Girdle, that's number 4.
And I think it is.
It is indeed the 4th foul on Olivia Loomis Girdle. That's huge.
That is a game-changing foul. You got to believe Olivia Loomis Girdle is going to come out of the ball game now. You can't leave her out there now with a minute to go, 5 seconds exactly to go in this quarter, and having 4 fouls.
They're keeping her in. No one checking in for Bridgeport.
That is a risk. Boy, if I'm Minden, I'm going to attack her at this point, or even try to draw a charge.
How about that rebound by Mila Emery, by the way?
Yeah.
Sets up the extra possession. And Minden back within 5. Schluterbusch. Loomis Girdle, high-low with Dean, beautifully run.
You see that Loomis Girdle can pass out of that high post. That's a good catch and shoot by Dean, who caught it on the way up and scored.
Loomis Girdle, 3.5 assists per game. Another turnover. Fromm off and running. Coast to coast, no one back. Huge stretch there for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, turnover leads to transition. That's what both teams want to do. Bridgeport does it very well on that play.
Back up to 9. Clock down to 10. Entry pass, won't roll home. Schluterbusch clears it. Bridgeport into the front court at the buzzer. Didn't get that one off cleanly. But after 3, a mini flurry by Bridgeport has them up 9. Will they stay unbeaten? 4th quarter next. This is NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo. High-key internet for a low-key price. Want to see what games we're covering? Follow on X at NCN Sports.
Salas weaving in, weaving out, and skying for...
Hey sports fans, looking for a convenient pit stop before or after the game? Look no further than Good to Go convenience stores. We're here to keep you going. Fuel up your tank with a refreshing drink and grab one more snack for the road. Good to Go, your winning play for game day.
And hey, I can dunk it too.
Good to Go convenience stores. Fuel up for the game locations in Lincoln, York, Geneva, Bruning, and Hebron.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Zollner Ford and Lincoln. Meeting your sales, service, and parts needs. 5 Points Bank. Trust a better bank for your financial needs. And by Family Physical Therapy, getting you back in the game.
Eight minutes of regulation basketball on tap. Bridgeport with a 9-point lead. The winner gets Lincoln Christian in the semifinals tomorrow morning. That's a game you'll see right here on News Channel Nebraska. Bridgeport scored 4 quick at the end of the quarter to re-extend their lead. Now Loomis Girdle forces the issue on the floor with 4.
Yeah. Risky, especially with her with 4 fouls. You just want to be straight up and force her to shoot over the top of you. And you saw her leaning into the defense. You could draw a charge. One thing you don't really want to do, I don't think at this point, is to bring those hands down and try to block that shot. Make her shoot over the top of you.
Loomis Girdle hits both. Second and third quarter, much more Bridgeport type basketball. 32 points over the middle quarters. Loomis Girdle a big part of that. She has 17. From the baseline, nothing but the bottom for Mila Emery.
That's a good make by Emery. Here comes the pressure.
From up ahead, now there's numbers for the Bulldogs. Schluterbusch, Loomis Girdle follows, fills it up, and draws the damage.
That missed shot by Schluterbusch was almost like a pass. He missed it long. Loomis Girdle is standing there waiting for that rebound. And that's a big three-point play opportunity, extending that lead as this game draws late.
Gets the shooter's roll. She is 5 for 6 from the field this half. Ball tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Minden. Loomis Girdle now with 20. 3 off her average.
That'd be nice to have that problem. I scored 20 and I'm still 3 away from my average.
20, that was a down game.
Yeah.
Need 26 next time to make up for it. Tough shot over 2 defenders.
Yeah. Very difficult shot. Minden starting to make some of those tough shots.
Now they need stops, though. Bridgeport off and running. Another and one.
Right
that
now,
time Olivia Brown.
Right now, Bridgeport is putting on a clinic of breaking the pressure. What you want to do when you break the pressure is get numbers on the other end and attack the basket. They've done exactly that the last 2 times. They've handled the basketball, they've broken the pressure, and they've scored on the other end. Minden down, you're going to have to continue to pressure, but Bridgeport's done a masterful job lately of breaking it.
Free throw, Plinko chips its way down. Brown has 6. Largest lead now for the 4 seed. Almost another turnover. From the free throw line, rebound to Fromm. Bridgeport off and running again. That's Bridgeport basketball. Right there. Olivia Loomis Girdle and Minden needs to talk it over. 15-point lead for the unbeaten Bulldogs. Back after this, you're watching News Channel Nebraska.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Zollner Ford and Lincoln. Meeting your sales, service, and parts needs. 5 Points Bank. Trust the better bank for your financial needs. And by Family Physical Therapy, getting you back in the game.
Bridgeport fans feeling it. And Lou, over the last minute and a half or so, we've really seen Bridgeport basketball going about 1,000 miles an hour, staying behind the defense and getting easy lay-ins in transition.
Yeah, us 3 buckets have been fast breaks off transition, and they've scored on all 3.
Corner triple, offensive rebound, pulled down by Bridgeport, and a foul be called on Camry.
Frustration foul. Camry missed a point-blank look. Just rolls off the rim, and that's frustrating, especially when you're down 15 and 6 minutes to go, 6:18 exactly in the 4th quarter.
Loomis Girdle finds Dean. They ran the floor well. Oh, Minden can't handle it. It's going to go back to the Bulldogs.
Had 2 players fighting over the rebound. Emery and Betty both going for the rebound. Neither one was able to secure it and lose it out of bounds.
Winner gets Lincoln Christian tomorrow morning. It'll be the 9 a.m. game. Loomis Girdle fell down. Bounces off a Minden player out of bounds.
I think you got to give Coach Coolin some credit to understanding Loomis Girdle's ability playing with those 4 fouls, kept her in the game.
Camry off the turnover, stripped from behind. Man, this Bridgeport team can fly, can't they?
Really can.
Schluterbusch coming out of nowhere, taking away what looked like an easy bucket.
Might want to write this down. This Minden team will be back here at state. It's a young team.
That shot falls. Three-pointer for Jorgensen. That's her first bucket of the game. Loomis Girdle, tough shot even for her. Camry the rebound. Inside and one. Minden not done yet. Amory will look for 3 the hard way. Bring the Whippets back within 9.
Oh, win or lose this game, you like the fight that Minden has brought here. A three-pointer, off the three-point shot a moment ago now, an old-fashioned three-point play, and it happens. 6 points in the last 2 possessions, only down 9, a lot of time left to be played.
Here's Schluterbusch. High-low with Dean again. Well defended by Minden. Offensive foul. They get Camry with the elbow. That's her second.
Schluterbusch, the smallest player on the floor, just came down and had pretty good position as she hit the floor. That could have gone either way.
Here in our 4th quarter, brought to you by Visit Lincoln. See and experience all that Lincoln has to offer. Discover more at lincoln.org. Oh! That one rolls home for Tacey Fromm.
Tacey Fromm has been really good in her role. She's not a player who's going to score a lot of points. But again, the old Ledgepale player, she's brought it today. 9 rebounds. And that's a big bucket to extend this lead as you see Minden starting to come back.
Free throw in and out, though. Oh! Corner 3, rebuffed by Tacey Fromm.
Well, Fromm might want to think about playing volleyball. That was a kill there. That was a heck of a defensive play by Fromm.
Now looking down low, swatted away. Minden fans wanted a foul, they didn't get it. Loomis Girdle. Off the turnover, Camry off the window. Oh, but she came down, grabbed her ankle. I think she landed on the Bridgeport player's foot when she came down.
That can be scary and painful, and not always a bad injury. Let's hope this is minor.
Training staff out to take a look. We'll take a break. 9-point lead for Bridgeport. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back. Sure.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes. We have wedding bands. We'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
I've had the opportunity to work with so many outstanding students and parents in my 37 years as a public school teacher. The 2 things I've noticed they all have in common: a love for their community and a pride in their school. I've seen that pride in my science students who become scientists, in parents who show up for every game and every parent-teacher conference, in former students who become community leaders. Nebraska public schools are indeed the heart of our communities.
Back to live action. Bridgeport with the ball. Maddie Camry for Minden. Not able to put any weight at all on her right foot, as she has been helped off with 10 points for Minden. That's a big absence, both offensively and defensively. And now Bridgeport trying to finish the job. It'll be Schluterbusch heading to the line.
Camry has played well, 10 points, as you said, and 7 rebounds. Going to have to probably play the last 4 or 13 without her, based on the way that ankle looked.
Ella Schluterbusch. "13 points for the 5'2" sophomore. You know, Bridgeport's going to lose Loomis Girdle, obviously, but I don't know that they're going anywhere. They've got Schluterbusch and Tacey Fromm coming back. Schluterbusch hits the second.
Yeah, we've got a good nucleus. You lose your superstar, but I think this will be a good basketball team next year as well.
Tough shot in traffic. Fromm out with it. Well, a great presence of mind to get that ball out of there. Schluterbusch. Left is short. Emery the rebound. Up ahead, foul on Schluterbusch. That's her 4th.
Well, if you're Minden, you're going to make a run. Now's the time. You're under 4 minutes. There's no shot clock. You're going to have to start thinking about the three-point shot or try to get to the and one opportunities. But you're going to have to make up some points. This is where you can't have empty possessions the rest of the way. Down 9. Or down 11, rather.
Looking in the corner. Good drive. Oh, lost it on her way up. But Nelson will still head to the line. Nelson has not scored tonight. That's Grace Dean's 4th. So Loomis Girdle, Schluterbusch, and Grace Dean, all with 4 fouls for Bridgeport. If Minden's able to come back, that's going to be big late.
Yeah, absolutely. You did what you had to do there. You didn't, well, you missed a free throw, but for Minden, it's about getting quick points, and in this case, you got to the foul line, got the clock stopped. If you make this free throw, you're going to throw some full-court pressure.
Missed them both. Rebound, though, to Minden. Kinsey Land pulls it down. Straightaway triple try not there. Brown with the rebound.
I mentioned Fromm with all those rebounds. She has 10 rebounds. Kinsey Land has 9 rebounds for Minden.
Good drive and dish. Schluterbusch. Looked good out of her hands. Nelson brings it back for Minden. One thing, if you're Bridgeport, you don't necessarily need those shots, though.
Right.
Good move. Sidestepping the defense. McKenna Starkey with 10. Timeout, Minden will take one as well. Minden trying to complete the comeback. 3:05 to go. This is News Channel Nebraska.
John Henry's is now offering electrical service. Our service professionals have been helping with plumbing, heating, and cooling in Lincoln and the surrounding areas for more than 25 years. Now, we're proud to offer the same level of professionalism in our new electrical service. From a whole home rewire to adding new outlets or electric car chargers, John Henry's can be your one-stop shop for all your home's needs. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical. Our family serving yours since 1996.
Nine-point game. Bridgeport has stayed at an arm's length for most of this second half. Alongside Lou Siefker, I'm Eric McKay. Minden now without arguably their best player, Maddie Camry, with injury. They're going to try to press their way back into this. Bridgeport breaks it. Now they'll back it out.
Yeah, now if you're Bridgeport, you want to be selective. You don't need to take quick shots. You take a high percentage look, take something in rhythm, and that's what it looks like they're going to do. They're such a fast-paced team. It's an adjustment to slow it down a little bit, but you don't want a quick shot here when you're ahead by 9. Without a shot clock, you don't have to take any sort of shot. Force Minden to come out and foul you, then that's what happened.
Bridgeport is in the bonus. That foul on Emery is her 3rd. Ella Schluterbusch, a 69% free throw shooter on the season.
At this stage of the game, free throws are big. That one rolls out.
Number 11, Maddie Emery with 34, Taylor 36 for 15.
But a made free throw here makes it a 3-possession ball, or 4-possession ball game rather.
Schluterbusch splits the pair. She has played well today, the sophomore with 15. Maddie Camry back into the game for Minden. Quick trigger triple short, and it'll be Bridgeport basketball. So Camry gutting it out. That's good to see if you're a Whippet fan. But Emery's shot falls by the wayside. Minden again 0 for everything from 3.
Just have not made shots from the perimeter from downtown.
Schluterbusch coast to coast.
There's your dagger. That's a big one. Schluterbusch all the way. You got to stop the basketball. Schluterbusch just beats him down and scores.
Curling into the lane. Not done yet. Mila Emery. She's had an incredible quarter. 9 this quarter, 12 for the game. And that foul's on Grace Dean, so she's done. Grace Dean fouls out with 6 points.
Well, Minden certainly hasn't given up on this game, but how this game ends, win or lose, I think could really fuel you going into next year with a young basketball team. You talk about how you played the game and maybe how close you came.
Free throw falls. Double-digit quarter for Emery. Now the immediate foul sends Schluterbusch to the charity stripe.
That's all you can do if you're Minden is be good on the offensive end, score, no empty possessions, and try to extend this basketball game. Turn this into a free throw shooting contest.
Ella Schluterbusch shooting 2 shots.
You know, we've talked about, what Loomis Girdle has done, and Schluterbusch has been so good today as well. Ooh, in and out. But I want to go back to Loomis Girdle. She already broke her sister's record for scoring all time at Bridgeport. She is also, as of now, the all-time scoring leader in Nebraska's Panhandle history.
Wow.
You know who she beat for that honor? The great Jordan Hooper from Alliance.
Alliance, yeah. I couldn't think of her name, but yeah, I knew the school. I couldn't think of the name.
3 off the mark for Minden. I'll tell you what, you've had a pretty good career when you're knocking Jordan Hooper out of the record books. Big collision there. And it'll be Emery heading to the line. Emery's been looking for her shot.
Shooting 2.
I remember Jordan Hooper, that she was aptly named. Great basketball player back in the day. That's a good job. There you see the hands coming down. You're going to get that call every time. If you go straight up, that could have been a charge. But forcing the contact, get to the free throw line, clock is stopped, make your free throws, set up your defense. That's all you can do at this point to try to chip away.
Now Bridgeport calling timeout. A little nervous with that 8-point lead. Back after this, you're watching News Channel Nebraska.
The way we use electricity has changed a lot over the years. What hasn't changed is our commitment to make sure it's there the moment you need it. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
One of my passions is always to help entrepreneurs, whether they're starting off right away or they've been in business for a long time. And for me, I believe that our community is the strongest when everyone chips in with their own expertise and passion, that's going to lift the tide and raise all boats. That's intentional. Intentional culture means a lot. I have the personal satisfaction of being there along the way.
Emery made the second free throw, so it's 57-50. Bridgeport into the front court. Ooh, boy, that's a break for Minden, honestly. That pass had made it through, and Fromm was about to get a wide-open look, but they call the foul instead.
Schluterbusch back at the free throw line. Mixed results here as of late for Schluterbusch, a good shooter.
Makes that one. She had missed 2 in a row prior to that. Minden doing a lot of offense for defense swaps. Clutch free throw shooting there.
Yeah, big time.
Schluterbusch with 19 now.
Yeah, great game. 3-possession game.
Quick trigger triple. Offensive rebound. How about Maddie Camry? Gutting it out after twisting her ankle earlier. Almost a steal on the inbound. Schluterbusch. Minden thinks she got away with a walk.
Yeah, might be right.
Take another look. Oh boy, that's tough. It's close.
Drug that pivot foot a little bit there.
Now it's Bridgeport shooting. Olivia Brown. Rolls it home.
Again, for Bridgeport, it's all about making free throws.
Brown hits both, back to a 9-point lead.
Be tough here if they continue to make free throws, but Minden's got to think 3 now.
Minden needs buckets in a hurry. Long 3. Not there. Offensive rebound, shot blocked, no foul called. Now a foul on the loose ball called on Minden.
Minden foul number 23.
Unruh got that rebound and shot was blocked off that rebound. Now we got 9-point lead. Shooting free throws under a minute to go. Be very difficult for Minden at this point.
Megan Klein. Bridgeport 12 of 16 from the free throw line this quarter.
Bridgeport, you don't want a silly foul here.
4-possession game, there's a steal. That one might just about do it.
Yep. You want to continue to play good defense. You just don't want to foul a 3-point shooter or anything like that when you have the lead. You get the steal. Another turnover there for Minden.
How about Tacey Frum? 6 points, 10 rebounds. Yeah. She's been great defensively.
Really controlled that defensive glass in that first quarter. Had 5 defensive rebounds, 6 total in the first quarter alone.
Missed both free throws. Minden's got to move. Tough shot heading to the line. Mila Emery, who has come alive here in the fourth quarter. 12 points in this quarter, 15 for the game.
Another player that's been active on the glass as well. 8 rebounds to go with his 15 points.
And for Minden here, I think most importantly, a chance to get some points with the clock stopped. 8-point game. Foul called. A lot of time went off the clock there, though. That foul on Land is her 4th.
It's Ella Schluterbusch.
This is the sort of game that you feel like Bridgeport might serve them well later.
Absolutely. 2 players with 20. Olivia Loomis-Girdle, who has not touched the ball a lot in the latter stages, but does have 7 points this quarter, 22 for the game. Now Schluterbusch with 21.
More than doubled her average.
Minden just got to start heaving. Long 3. Nope. Out of bounds to Bridgeport. You talked about it, Lou. It is a young team. They do have some seniors. Madeline Emery, who just put up that shot among them. Rosalind Nelson, a senior as well. But this is a young squad. Would not be shocked at all to see them back here in Lincoln next year.
It's one of those experiences. Bridgeport's had a few of those where you just come here and you just figure out how to play. That's a careless turnover there by Bridgeport. But games like this are going to help you down the road with a young team that you next year, assuming they make it next year, you'll have this experience behind you and you'll just be better off for it.
Camry, college range triple, good.
Wow.
Mila Emery is having an incredible quarter.
That was Caitlin Clark range out there.
That's 17 this quarter for Mila Emery. She's got 20 for the game. And yeah, that's NBA range.
Yeah, it's way downtown.
Said, Lou, that's Caitlin Clarkville out there. Boy, Schluterbusch just keeps hitting, though. That's 5 straight makes from the land of the free.
You talk about experiences that'll help you. It might help you in this tournament. A player like Schluterbusch has been up at the free throw line a lot here in the fourth quarter.
Didn't get the second. Camry the rebound. Mishandled, down to 10 seconds. Camry, shot off, rebound Bridgeport, that's gonna do it. The Bulldogs fight off the Whippets, make it 26 in a row for the Panhandle's finest. Your score 65-57, Bridgeport gets the win. Post-game show coming up on NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
Atlas Fiber Internet has definitely increased the productivity of our office. It's one of those things with internet and being a marketing company, we have to have it on and running all the time. And it's always up. We don't run into lags, we don't run into latency issues. It doesn't vary throughout the day, it doesn't vary on weekends or busy time periods. We have local service here. You need to go talk to somebody. They're just a quarter of a mile away for us to be able to chat with somebody. And that is a huge peace of mind for me as a business owner. So I would not hesitate at all to recommend Allo to anybody.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo. High-key internet for a low-key price. Want to see what games we're covering? Follow on X at NCN Sports.
Salas weaving in, weaving out, and skying for...
Hey sports fans, looking for a convenient pit stop before or after the game? Look no further than Good To Go convenience stores. We're here to keep you going. Fuel up your tank with a refreshing drink and grab one more snack for the road. Good To Go, your winning play for game day.
And hey, I can dunk it too.
Good To Go convenience stores. Fuel up for the game locations in Lincoln, York, Geneva, Bruning, and Hebron.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said...
It wasn't. But this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
Hi, this is Misty
Here at Family Physical Therapy, we strive to go beyond your symptoms, ensuring you have access to quality, individualized care. We offer physical, occupational, and speech therapy. Family Physical Therapy has an excellent staff that cares about our patients' success. Whether you're suffering from a sports injury, a stroke, or working to improve balance and coordination, Family Physical Therapy is here to help. When you're here, you're family. Visit us at one of our many Nebraska locations today.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Zollner Ford and Lincoln. Meeting your sales, service, and parts needs. 5 Points Bank. Trust the better bank for your financial needs. And by Family Physical Therapy, getting you back in the game.
+120 wins on the career of Dave Coolin, and you guys are advancing in the tournament. Coach, first off, congratulations. Take me through that ball game. Got off to a good start.
Yeah, we got off to a good start. Well, kind of. We were giving up offensive rebounds in the first quarter, and that was our point of emphasis all week. And then we went on a run once we started taking care of that and got it to halftime, up 5, and then in the second half, got that separation that we were looking for finally.
Yeah, when we talked at halftime, you were telling me that the biggest thing was you needed to get more shots because when you weren't able to get the looks you were looking for, that's when trouble came. What did you do to open up more opportunities?
Well, I mean, that's our formula to win games. Part of it is, you got to get more shots than your opponent. And gosh, I told them at the end of the first quarter, I bet Minden had at least 10 more shots than we did. And so part of that's offense, part of that's defense, and a big part of that was rebounding. So once we were able to limit them to 1 shot per possession, things kind of went our way, and we started getting some turnovers, and so they had some empty possessions as well.
Tell me a little bit about our player of the game, Olivia Loomis-Girdle. How proud are you of her and her effort today?
Well, I don't like her at all. I've been around her for 5 years, and I'm kind of, she's a tremendous player. She's, in my opinion, she's the best player in Class C1. And, in that second half, for a while there, she was about the only one scoring for us. And then Ella picked up the stretch there in the fourth quarter. And then the two of them, scoring-wise, were just fabulous in the second half.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Best of luck in the semis.
Thank you very much.
We'll bring in our player of the game, Olivia Loomis-Girdle, who's going to come around the side here. 22 points for you, Olivia, today. Take me through what was working for you.
Well, the biggest thing was just hitting open shots, hitting open layups. That was the biggest thing. We needed to get in and hit layups. I mean, we winning games by home to layups. We ran the floor really well, and we got some really good passes, some passes ahead that got easy layups for us, and we just got it done that way.
You become Bridgeport's leading scorer. Keep it in the family. You pass your sister, and you also pass Jordan Hooper, who's a pretty good player from the Panhandle as well. What does all of that mean to you?
It's really cool. I just want to say thank you to my teammates. I mean, they are always getting me the ball, getting me open, helping me out, hyping me up. My coaches, they're always writing up what's best for our team. So honestly, just thank you to them. They always give me the ball when I need it, and all glory to them.
You guys are now 26-0, but you're a 4th seed in this tournament. What does this kind of a win make a statement about?
Well, I guess seedings don't matter. At the end of the season, there's no record. You just got to prove it in these games right here. So we're going to prove that we deserve to be here, and we should be here, and just win it all.
All right, thank you, Olivia.
Yep, thank you.
Lou and Eric will send it back to you guys to wrap this one up.
Well, thanks, Jake. I thought we were breaking news there with Dave Coolin there for a second. I
like Olivia. I don't know about
She seems really nice. Yeah, I was very surprised. Thankfully, he was just kidding. What a game for Loomis-Girdle. 22.7 rebounds. He mentioned Ella Schluterbusch. She also had 20 points for Mila Emery as well. Let's take a look at how this one went down. Our top plays are brought to you by Currency. Need financing for RVs, ATVs, or other expensive items? Well, Currency's here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com today. Unbeaten Bridgeport taking on Minden. Winner gets Lincoln Christian in the Class C1 semifinals. Minden early on, no seniors in their starting lineup, but not afraid. That's Maddie Camry getting the bucket early, but Bridgeport, they can hit from outside. Ella Schluterbusch, the sophomore, just 5'2", plays a lot bigger than that from the outside. Great pass. Camry, the benefactor, down low. She had 4 in the first quarter. Still first quarter, more from Minden, more good ball movement, setting things up away from the ball and drawing the foul. Minden with a 2-point lead after 1. But Bridgeport starts to open it up second quarter. Inside, outside, the 3-ball falls for Olivia Brown. Then Olivia Loomis-Girdle taking on 2 defenders, doesn't matter. the future Northern Colorado Golden Bear with the bucket. Minden able to answer at the other end. McKenna Starkey gets the two-pointer to fall, but at the half, it's Bridgeport with a 5-point lead. They extend the lead third quarter. Loomis Girdle with the pirouette. She had 22 points in this contest to go along with 7 rebounds. Ooh, a little Euro step action as well, treating the defender like a traffic cone. Bridgeport extends their lead to 9 after 3. Fourth quarter, more from Loomis Girdle in transition. Bridgeport really got out and ran in the fourth. That ended up being the difference for the Bulldogs. Minden trying to come back. How about the fourth quarter for Mila Emery? 17 in the fourth quarter. She had 20 for the game, but too much from Bridgeport. They get the win 65-57, now 26-0, and back in the semifinals. So we take a look at the Class C1 bracket, and Bridgeport moves on. Seeds have held so far, Lou. Yep. Oh, that Lincoln Christian Bridgeport game, that's going to be fun tomorrow.
Yeah, that should be a fun one. Two teams, like we saw just today, both teams like to push tempo, get up and down the floor. That should be a fun one.
Meanwhile, you see the bottom half of the bracket. That's our afternoon session. Starts in about an hour. We'll be back on about 1:15 Central, 12:15 Mountain. For all you Sydney folks out there, as they take on Adams Central. Lou, the Red Raiders and the Patriots, neither of them strangers to state basketball. I think that one could be a bit of a battle.
Adams Central, last year's runner-up. Yeah, both these teams, as you mentioned, been here a lot. Both teams trying to get that elusive recent championship. Yeah. Adams Central won back in the 90s. Sydney has a couple Class B championships back in the 80s.
That's coming your way this afternoon. Until then, for Lou Siefker, Jake Bartecki, Danny Alvarado, and the truck and the entire NCN Sports crew, I'm Eric McKay. Thanks for joining us. You're watching the Class C1 State Basketball Tournament on News Channel Nebraska.
Welcome to the 1890 Initiative headquarters at 11th and Q in downtown Lincoln. Brandon Axmit with you on News Channel Nebraska as we are joined by Husker standout Merritt Beeson of the volleyball team, talking all things NIL. And Merritt, first off, NIL is new, and I think a lot of people maybe think that these athletes and student athletes are just handed over a big sum of money and they're on their way. But that's not how it works. And the 1890 Initiative specifically has something called fulfillment, where athletes go out into the community and they earn this money. Can you talk more about how that works and what that looks like?
Yeah, it's almost like a job in a way. Like we do things to get paid. Obviously, that's what NIL is. You have to be doing something. You just can't sit here and hand me, here's X amount of money. I have to do something to earn it. And so for us, fulfillment can look very different. Like I described, maybe it's, we're going to go play with a few kids. You know, we're going to talk to these people. We're going to show up to this event and we're going to promote this event, whatever it may be. Maybe we're hosting a volleyball camp like we will be soon. You know, there's so many different things that we're able to do, and most of these opportunities do allow us to give back. So it isn't just they're just handing us a big lump of money. You know, we're obviously doing things to earn that and to kind of give back to the community in a way while earning that as well.
Now, you mentioned those community opportunities that you have, and some people may be not quite sure how that works. So you have the 1890 Initiative, and that's really the vehicle that connects those dots for athletes.
So 1890 kind of connects us back with the community. They're finding opportunities to plug us back into the community and allowing us to give back to the community. So maybe a business comes to 1890 and is like, hey, I want the volleyball team to come here, and they can kind of reach out to us and be the navigator between businesses and us. And then there's also a ton of opportunities for us to, hey, maybe it's just there's a group of kids that we're going to go play volleyball with, or there's a group of people at an elderly home that we're going to hop on a Zoom and we're going to talk about our volleyball experience. We're going to walk them through a day in our life. We're going to talk about what it's like to be a volleyball player in Nebraska. They just kind of help us connect back with the community. They allow us to give back and provide us with those opportunities.
Well, Merritt, thank you again so much for spending some time with us here on News Channel Nebraska as we are continuing to learn about NIL and educating our viewers across the state of this new landscape. I'm Brandon Axmit. We'll see you next time.
We now join regular programming on News Channel Nebraska.